What is the Nikon Coolpix P330? Nikon's Coolpix range of compacts offers something for everyone, from the entry-level L series right up to the top of the range Nikon Coolpix A. The Nikon P330 replaces the Coolpix P310, and is some respects a smaller, pocketable version of the Nikon Coolpix P7700, albeit with a few limitations due to its size. Does it offer a comparable level of performance to its elder sibling, or does it make too many sacrifices? Nikon Coolpix P330 Features. At the core on the Nikon P330 sits the very same sensor as that found in the P7700. It measures 1.7 inches, the same size as the sensor on the Panasonic Lumix LF1 and Lumix LX7, is back illuminated and takes photos at up to 12.2 MP. Although this is a drop in resolution from the P310's 16.1 MP, it should result in better performance at higher ISO levels. The sensor itself offers RAW capture in Nikon's .NRW format, as well as Full HD video capture at either 25p or 50i frame rate. On the subject of video, the P330 also supports stereo sound capture and optical zooming while filming. On the rear of the Nikon P330 sits an LCD screen with a resolution of 921K dots and measuring in at 3 inches. One feature that's lacking, which will no doubt disappoint some enthusiast users, is a viewfinder of any sort, as is the capacity to fit an external viewfinder of any sort. If that's something you're after, the Lumix LF1 is the place to go. Another feature lacking from the P330 is any kind of wireless of Wi-Fi functionality, a feature which has become more prevalent in compacts in recent times. Despite this, the P330 does have an onboard GPS system for capturing location information. The P330's lens, meanwhile, is a 5x optical zoom that covers a focal range of 24 to 120 mm in equivalent terms, with a maximum aperture of f/1.8a, the wide end of the range. The lens also benefits from Nikon's advanced lens shift VR technology, complete with an active mode, for both video and stills capture. As you'd expect for an advanced compact from Nikon, the P330 features full PASM image capture modes. It also features a range of auto shooting settings, including an auto HDR mode, for when you're happy for the camera to do the work. Nikon Coolpix P330 Design. As you'd expect from a compact aimed at enthusiasts, the P330 has a full set of manual controls. It does, however, maintain a relatively clutter-free finish and as such is comfortable in operation. The model's top plate features a pair of control dials, one of which takes care of the various camera modes while the other is a user-assignable command dial. It also features an FN button on the model's front panel, which is within easy reach when shooting. On the negative side, the power button is small and recessed into the camera's top plate, which makes it hard to use than it ought to be. Back to the positives, and a slim hump on the front plate complements a rubberized thumb pad on the rear, with the pair offering a good grip over the camera while shooting. Throw in a perfectly positioned movie record button and there's very little to dislike about the P330's design. Nikon Coolpix P330 Performance. The same can't be said of the P330's performance. Indeed, there are several issues, most of which concern the camera's operational and shooting speed. It's slow when shooting RAW files alone, but when you capture RAW and JPEG files simultaneously you'll have to wait a good 3 to 4 seconds before the buffer clears and you're ready to shoot again. The P330 also takes a good 2 seconds to start, which is poor for a premium compact like this. Likewise, even scrolling between menus is sluggish. It feels as if there's a limit on how quickly you can scroll through menus, which is just bizarre. It's not all bad news with the P330's performance, however. The camera's AF system acquires focus promptly at the wide angle of the lens, only slowing slightly at the tally end of the zoom. The lens also travels through the focal range rapidly, so you can switch from the wide end to the tele end in a near instant. That's great, although it does make small tweaks to the zoom awkward. While the P330's screen isn't touchscreen, which is a shame as it would make it easier to use, this aside it's an excellent and class-leading display for a camera. It's both bright and clear, and offers a good representation of the captured image in a range of conditions. Nikon P330, image quality. There's a lot to like about photos taken with the P330. The auto white balance system is reliable, although there is a slight tendency towards a greener cast on some images. This is, however, easily remedied with a slight adjustment to either the model's white balance or picture control color settings. It's the same story with the metering system. There's very little to fault here, with the camera judging most scenes correctly and delivering the right exposure. If there are any issues, it is to do with highlight clipping, and this can be somewhat rectified with the active delighting setting. On the subject of dynamic range, the P330 delivers results in line with what you would expect from a compact camera, with a good balance struck between shadows and highlights. Thanks to the larger sensor and lower resolution than the P310, the P330 delivers good results at higher ISO settings. At the higher settings, some texture from noise reduction becomes apparent, although this is true of